Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I'm just having my coffee here, and so everything is fine. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your life as a football player. You have obviously you're from Nigeria, but you went as a very young girl or young woman. You went to the United States and to study and play football there.
Yes.
How did that come to pass? Because I saw when I look at the national team, your national team, I think not many of you play in the US.
Not many.
Mm.
It's just a process. I was playing in Nigeria. Um, I played with my school in Nigeria, and I got the opportunity to play in the US. I have advisor that took me there.
Mm-hmm.
So he got me a scholarship to play
Mm-hmm.
for Southeastern University. So I went for 4 years. I played the NAIA tournament, and yeah, it was great. It was a good journey for me, and it prepared me to, of course, continue my career as an athlete. So it was a really great experience for me in the U.S.
But is that like a huge step to move as an 18 or 19-year-old you were
Yes,
when?
18.
Yeah, isn't that a huge step? Because some people move just to a neighboring country. And they always say when they are young, my God, that was a big step for me. I know I talked to Linda Selstrom here a couple of weeks ago from Finland, and she went to Sweden when she was 18, and she said, my God, I came just from home from my mama and mother and father. I couldn't cook, I couldn't do anything on my own. And then I went to Sweden, it was so difficult, but you went over the pond to another continent. Isn't that a huge change?
I mean, of course, it was a huge change, and it was challenging. It wasn't easy at first.
Mm.
Uh, I went through a lot of challenges, trying to get the visa, the
Mm.
paperwork through, and transitioning from Nigeria to, to a whole, not just another country, the U.S. It's like a
Mm.
big deal, and the process wasn't that it wasn't easy at all. Like I went through a lot, and when I got there, I was having a hard time adjusting to the system and like
Mm.
the education system and the food, the culture it was just the culture shock was there, but at some point of course I adapted to the system, and I was able to make friends. I was able to have good relationship with people, and be able to be comfortable and do what I was doing. So yeah, the process, the transitioning it was challenging, but of course I got used to it and I got adapted to the system and was able to sail through.
And I think I saw your sheet from the Southeastern University, your sheet as a football player or a soccer player, and you were extremely successful. I mean, you played like 12, 13 games the first half year, scored many goals, but then you scored 40 goals 45 goals in the second season, and more than 50 goals in the third season. That's incredible.
I mean, yeah, of course, I was able to adapt to the playing system there as well. I have my teammates that were supporting me, my coaches, the people around on campus, off campus. With all of that, I was able to uh, uh, settle in. I
Hmm.
was able to uh, accomplish those goals and every other thing I accomplished in the U.S. So it was just not me. It was just with the help of other people, the support,
Hmm.
and everything else. So it was pretty easy. And of course, I worked hard too for it.
Hmm.
So of course, I was able to be successful there.
And you broke some records. I saw they wrote on their homepage that that you broke some records for the university.
So yeah, it was a really great journey, from home to the US,
Mm,
and you know, traveling from back home from the US to join the national team,
mm,
and then going to Spain, and then I'm here now. So
mm.
I'm really grateful, and I think it's been a really tremendous journey for me as an athlete.
Absolutely.
So
You were part of the Nigerian national team at the World Championships in France.
yes,
How was that experience to be in France for
it
the
was
World Cup?
it was huge. Like, I mean, that was like the biggest stage of my career. So it was like a big deal for me. I'm
Mm,
really proud of myself, and I'm proud of everyone that supported me, and my teammates, my coaches that, of course, helped me through everything. And yeah, it was a really big deal for me, and I'm really thankful that I was part of it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't something that you just get handed to.
mm.
It, I'm always grateful that I was part of that. I was able to meet other professionals and stuff. You know, it was pretty, a cool experience, and yeah.
The whole surroundings must have been very great with the media and the facilities that you were able to use in the different stadiums. And this was like a huge step ahead for the whole women's football, wasn't it, in
Yeah, of
France?
course it was.
Mm,
Everything was just, set up in a professional way. The teams, like you said, the facilities, um, the coaching,
mm,
um, the players, everyone was, working as professionals they are. And it's kind of cool to be surrounded by people like that. Coming from a college experience to the biggest stage of my life, it wasn't easy, but I was able to adapt, and having to meet with my teammates from back home. So that made it a little, homey for me. When I was in camp with them, I was able to, uh, it was kind of like a catch up.
mm.
So it was pretty easier for me. It was a great experience altogether.
But you knew all these girls before, like Asisat Oshoala. I think she understands she's the right now she's the top player from Nigeria,
Mhm.
and everybody loves her. And but there's so many other great players like Anam Imo now, who's playing for Malmö, is a great player too. And your team captain Desiree Opara, oh my God, Oparanazi.
Apparently.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah. But
sometimes
I
the
knew them. I knew them beforehand, so
okay.
yeah, I was able to catch up with them, and it was kind of like home again, and that made it easier.
How was it working with Thomas Dennerby? That was maybe your first contact with a Swedish coach.
Yes, it was. I really like them.
Mm.
Him and Jorgen.
Yeah, Jürgen
They're
Pettersson. Mm.
yeah, cool
Mm.
people, and they're really nice, and I like them as coaches, and everything else they do off the field. They were really nice people. They were encouraging me. They helped me a lot. So yeah, of course, I like the experience with them.
So then you came from college soccer to the World Championship. How big is that step? Is that really like a huge step that you say, "Oh my God, is this fast, or is this physical, more physical than I used to know, or is it smaller
Uh,
than we think maybe?"
I mean, it was more physical.
Mm.
I mean, of course, there's a lot of difference between. There's a huge difference between the college soccer and,
Mm.
of course, competing at that level. So yeah, I was a little nervous at first, but
Mm.
like I said, I was able to meet people that I already knew that helped me to, like, feel at home,
Mm.
and of course, it's a game of soccer I've been playing. I just felt like, oh well, it's the same soccer that we play in, so there's
Mm.
nothing really different. But the only thing was, it's the biggest stage. I
Mm.
was overwhelmed. I was a little um, shaky, but when I got there and I saw, oh, it's the same, everything is fine, with the coaches, the players, and everything, it was just normal. So yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't have an easy group, and then of course you were not so lucky to meet Germany already in the first
stage.
Knockout stage, yeah. Could have been another team maybe than Germany, but Germany's so organized and they have such a winning tradition, and which makes it very difficult for any team to meet them.
Yeah, I mean, playing them,
Mm.
it was a really tough. It was a really tough game, and I started the game. That's a huge plus for me.
Mm.
You know, it wasn't easy to be on a team that would start the game against a organized and a big team like Germany. You know, so yeah, it was a tough game, but unfortunately, you know, it came out the way it did and move on.
But then after that, you started your international career as in the club football, from college soccer to club football, and you went to Spain. But how did you get to Sweden? What happened that brought you to Sweden, to Linköping?
I mean, I was in Spain for 6 months, just on a loan, but I came to Sweden, you know, because of of course, the success history is a top level league here in Sweden, and the team is at the top of the table, and I wanted to be part of that success. You know, I wanted to be part of a team that is doing great as Linköping. You know, so I thought it would be a great step for me, and I took it.
And you have scored 7 goals already, so this is quite. You are the leading goal scorer in your team right now.
I try, you know. I mean, I'm grateful. I have the opportunity to play and give my best and make impact my team, you know, wherever I go. So I'm grateful. I'm able to be part of that success as well.
How satisfied? How do you experience the Swedish Damallsvenskan now after you have played 15 games? You have made quite many experience now because you played all of the teams now. You have seen them. You have played against them. So, what is your impression after the 15 games that you have played of the league?
I mean, it's a totally different atmosphere compared to Spain. It's a different style of play. I think the teams are, you know, everyone is competitive. Everyone is competing at the highest level, and I think it's different. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting trying to adapt to the culture, the system they play here, and of course, I'm getting better, and I will be able to do more and help my team as much as I can. Yeah, it's good. I like it here a lot.
How you said when you went to the U.S. that first you had to adapt to the a little bit to the now Florida doesn't have such a different climate maybe because it's very south in the United States, but you had to adapt to the food and to the culture stuff. How is that in Sweden for you right now after the couple of months? It's because Sweden is different from the U.S. again.
I mean, it's fine. I like it. Like I said, I like it here. I like the weather. I mean, I don't like it too cold, but I know we're getting there. But for now, yeah, the weather is fine. I like the environment and I like the food actually. But most of the time I cook my own food, so I don't really eat out, you know. So I don't really know what Swedish food is actually like.
Okay.
Eat out a lot, but yeah, the ones that I've had to try, they are really good. And the people, you know, they're really nice people, and yeah, it's nice.
So but of course it's not so nice, but that's for almost for the whole world now that to play without an audience, without a real audience. I mean, you have 50 people at every game. Is that really a difference for you that you don't have so many people around you who shout and support your team or for the other team, or doesn't it, or do you forget that after like 3 or 4 weeks that there is no audience. It's just a new way of playing.
I think it doesn't really change anything for me. But of course, it would be nice to see people watching the games and having fun, And for the game, like for the playing part, I don't think it affects me or it changed anything. Yeah, of course, I would want to see my fans. I want to see people come out to support us, So.
Because sometimes some people say that some players say that it's in a little bit not better, but the different way is because you can talk to each other, you can shout to each other, and you can actually understand what your teammates are saying to you or shouting to you on the pitch now during a game.
Yeah, of course. I sometimes when the pressure is too much and everyone is like, trying to hype each other up, trying to push each other, Yeah, of course, we understand now, especially now with no fans, with no people yelling and screaming out from the stand, so you can actually hear your teammates talking and, passing information from the bench. It's cool.
What are you are lying in 4th position now in the league, and ahead of you is Kristianstad. And I guess you still want to catch them to make that 3rd place, don't you?
Of course. We want to play in the Champions League, so of course we're working hard to make that happen. So.
How would you describe yourself as a player? I mean, we have had many Nigerians in Sweden, in the Swedish Damallsvenskan. It's almost a tradition that we have many players from Nigeria, and I always experience them as both technical and physical, which is not so, and which is maybe a bit special.
Of course, I think we're special. Of course, I think Nigerian players are special. I think we have that spice, wherever we go, we make a difference, and we always make a positive impact on. It doesn't have to be soccer. It doesn't have to be. It could be anything. But I believe my my colleagues here and all over the world, wherever they are, I believe Nigerians, we're special. We make difference, and yeah. We make differences. Like it's like in our culture to like go somewhere and leave a mark. Yeah,
this I remember the fans. There's always when you see the fans, they're always there's a lot of joy always that is sort of expressed, and maybe in Sweden sometimes we have problems to really express that joy, that the fun of everything. I saw that on Southeastern University they wrote on your sheet that you are Uchenna is interested in music and dance. Can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I like music a lot. I think music helps me to find a moment. Sometimes it helps me to control my mental health. I think I always listen to music. I always try to make people laugh. I dance. I'm a very jovial person. I think that's one thing I can't help. Wherever I go, I always make that impression. Like I'm always there, whatever they're doing. Of course, I want to join. I want to be part of it. And yeah, I dance a lot. I listen to music a lot, and it's part of me. So,
what is your favorite music?
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat. Okay, I have to look a little more into that, because it can happen to me as well that I walk around with my earphones on and that I start.
I can listen to anything, especially worship songs, like gospel songs. Yeah, but when I like for the dancing part, the vibe part is mostly Afrobeat.
Great. Uchenna, thank you very much for talking to me. That was really a pleasure to talk to you.
Of
And
course.
I wish you everything good for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Do you have your contract is for this year only, or even for the next season?
I'd like you too for the
Okay,
next season.
so maybe we'll see each other on the pitch if everything gets a little bit better with Corona, hopefully. Have a great.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good day.